Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. So in today's video, I want to talk about two things. The first one is the latest patch notes that went live and also is now in the game, which is Chromatic Scrolls. The second thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the new Astro hero that is now available. We'll talk about his loadout and I'm going to show you a really strong team composition and then how you can use them. So first, let's talk about Chromatic Scrolls. What are they? Well, these are the new type of scrolls now that are color specific. So you can see here, I'm showing you these red scrolls, green, blue, yellow, and purple. These open up, the heroes that you can obtain from these scrolls are the same as the normal gold scrolls in that it's a minimum of rare heroes with a chance for epic as well as legendary. And just like a gold scroll, it has a mercy system. So if I were to keep pulling for a yellow scroll, after 13 yellow scrolls, then my chances of getting an epic is going to increase. And then as I keep going, my chances of pulling a legendary also goes up. But there's no pity system for these scrolls though. What does that mean? So mercy system just means as after a certain number of scrolls, your chances of obtaining something of a higher tier is increased. A pity system is where with our old gold scrolls, after you open up 249 gold scrolls, the very next one is going to be a guaranteed legendary. So what they say is these chromatic scrolls, when you open them, they also count toward that the number. So let's say you opened up, a combination between these scrolls, 100. Okay, like 25 yellow, 25 purple, 25 red, and 25 blue. Okay, 100 scrolls. What this means is if you didn't get a legendary hero out of it, you now have put 100 scrolls into the pity timer. And now if you open up 149 gold scrolls total and you don't get a legendary, the very next one is going to be a guarantee. So these scrolls, they all go toward the pity system. And where this is actually going to be the most beneficial for you is, let's say you are at 249, you're ready to get your guaranteed legendary hero. You can now choose which color legendary you want based on which scroll you use. So for your 250th scroll for your pity system, the guaranteed legendary, now you can control which color legendary you're going to get to give you a higher chance of obtaining what you actually want. The other thing to keep in mind is if you have a wish list set, so let's say you have a red legendary that you want to go after. If you were to use a green or a blue scroll instead for your guarantee, you're going to get either the blue or the red. Okay, you're not going to get your hero from your wish list, even if you have hit the limit already. But what happens is the wish list will not go away, so it's going to stay on for your next pull. And so it completely changes sort of like, what you can do. You can choose to keep your wish list going. If let's say there's another hero you really want in a different color, you can use that. And it is just another way to control it as well. If there is a legendary hero boost, so you have them on the wish list 25%, and if you use the color scroll, chromatic scroll of your choice, and it matches the color of that legendary hero, it also boosts the chance of you getting that one. So it's just just ways for you to get what you want a little bit more. So that is the chromatic scroll in a nutshell. Hopefully this helps you understand a little bit what they are all about. Now let's move on to Sagittarius. So I'm actually pretty excited for him. I was able to get him. It took me 3 total scrolls. I actually had saved them up from just using the shards, and I had saved them from previous attempts. And so I was able to get him, and I can actually show you. So I have him at level 50 right now, and he is a hero that is very similar to Gabriella in that he deals damage based on resistance that's on him. So level 1, 7,000 resistance to a single enemy, and he ignores 40% defense. If you can max his level out, he'll ignore 60% defense and deal damage based on 8,000 resistance. So quite a bit of damage. And his passive ability will decrease the accuracy of enemies. So that means if you're facing up against debuffers, he is going to make it even harder for them to land negative stats on you. And if you can get enemy health low, he'll deal also more damage. At level 7, goes from 10% more damage to 20% more damage, and he will decrease the accuracy by even more as his level goes up. So given that, the primary thing that you should go after is going to be the protector set. If you can, you want to have 3 full sets of protector. That means, every 2 pieces of protector gear gives you one set. You want to have all 6 of them be protector. Unfortunately, I don't have a resistance armor, which is going to be a requirement for Sagittarius. You have to put a resistance armor on him. This I don't think is really something that you want to move away from. And so I couldn't find a resistance based armor, unfortunately, protector set. So I'm using this a different one instead. So I only have 2 full sets. And then for the gloves, he is after all a damage dealer. And so I put critical damage on him. He's not landing any negative stats or anything. So you want him to deal damage. And so critical damage is going to be important here. The boots, this is the one where you can sort of choose which way you want to go. If you were to put so at level 15, if you were to put let's say, I'm just going to show you here. Okay, I'm going to show you why I did what I did. So if you were to put a 6-star health boot on him right now, you can see that you can gain about 6,000 more health. Okay, so 6,000 more health, and that will get me to closer to 30,000. But instead, I went with speed because I wanted him to be able to go faster. I wanted him to be able to, fire his skill more often. I didn't think that the 6,000 is going to be as important for me, given that I plan to protect him with some tank anyway. And so this is sort of something I think you can experiment with. I chose to go with speed, and then for my substats for these other ones, I went with critical ray and more critical damage, as well as some additional health where I can get it, because I do need to make sure I have some survivability. But I thought that I liked the idea of having more speed over more health in this particular case, and so that's what I went with. I'm still experimenting. Let me know in the comment below if you think that there is if you think a different option would be better for him. And so the next thing I want to quickly talk about is, as a Astro hero, you want to make sure that his critical rate is going to be at a minimum 100, because anything below 100 means that he's not going to guarantee a critical damage. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to show you a quick team. Now, there's a lot of teams that you can go with. I think that you couldn't really go wrong with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this because I want to show you a neutral ground for everyone. So we have Gabriella, who is going to pair well with Sagittarius because they both deal damage based on resistance. Now, there's a epic hero here, Demi, or Dem. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but I didn't get a chance to talk about him, but he is a hero that actually pairs very well with either of them because his ability is all about increasing resistance, and also, because he's immune to stun, he can actually survive Taiko-san's attacks to help out. And then Streetblock is there to always be the, mana generator. There's other heroes that you can use. You could put also in here, instead of Streetblock, for example, you can put a tank in here. Anyone that can taunt, for example, would be good. So this one is, I personally like Streetblock. Necros is an interesting one, so you can debuff. And you can also take a look at his ability here. So Necros also has this ability to decrease the accuracy of enemies. And so what I did was I checked in the Discord server. I asked whether or not this will stack with Sagittarius, and the answer was yes. The 2 skills that decrease the accuracy of your enemies will indeed stack. So you've got Necros that will decrease up to 40%, because his ability decreases accuracy by 4% for every 10% health. So that is going to be 40% right off the bat. And then you got Sagittarius, who's going to further decrease the accuracy of your enemies. And so if you're up against enemies that are, focused on debuff, you can decrease their chances of landing the debuffs on you, which is always what you're looking for. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to use the pots here to kind of show you the skills and also the abilities, so you can see what it's like. Okay. And so the first thing is I'm going to boost the skills. I'm going to use the skills so that everyone gets increased resistance. So if you take a look at the numbers now, my stats, I am now at 334 resistance, okay, because of the increase and because of Demi's passive ability. So now if I go ahead and use my skill, you can see that I can deal 25,000 to a neutral enemy with Sagittarius, and 27,000 from Gabriella. Gabriella is actually fully toned, and so she can deal more damage because of her ability. Okay, and so pretty similar, right? So they both get the same benefit, and what you can do here is you can use Sagittarius to also just snipe down individuals. Also, because that damage is going to be more consistent, whereas with Gabriella, she's going to deal less damage against the green heroes. And so these are things that you can sort of control. And with Sagittarius, as you level him up more, he's going to deal even more damage. And so this is just kind of like a setup here. Just wanted to show you like an example team. Not that this is the team that everyone should go after, but I wanted to show you sort of like an example where some synergies work really well. For Sagittarius, I would say that you really ultimately want to give him a tank that you can pair with. And so Necros is going to be good. I think Gabriella in this case, like you could go with him, but if you already have Necros, maybe you don't need to have that. And then you can go with a tank. In this case, you can go with a fellow, you can go with a fellow Astro hero, or you can go with your favorite. Let's say you can also go with Najar, for example. Like these are various different teams that you can set up. Demi is going to always help Sagittarius because of the increased resistance, and Necros is going to work really well with Sagittarius for reducing accuracy. You don't need to put Necros in here. I'm just showing you examples of where the synergies really work well with each other. But basically, by having Sagittarius in the team, you're going to increase the resistance of everyone on your team, which makes it better for survivability purposes. And so you can really play around a little bit. So if you like playing defensively, this is going to be a good way to go. And so that is, that is basically what I want to talk about in this video. And one last thing I wanted to call out is in my Discord channel, I actually have a couple of sections now I've created where we start showing all the various different heroes, their loadouts. It is a forum type structure, so you can actually jump in to look for a hero that you care about, take a look at the loadouts that different people have shared, and then participate and also share your own build as well. I'm going to put the link to my Discord server below as well. I encourage you to join, contribute here if you like, or just lurk around and see if there's anything that catches your eye. As always, looking forward to any feedback you may have. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you guys think. I know that Sagittarius isn't going to be on people's minds. That isn't necessarily what everyone's going to go for, but I always have encouraged people to say, in this particular case, if you don't have any Astro heroes, now's the time to go ahead and use your scroll shards and open up to obtain at least one Astro hero. Anyone that you get is going to be extremely useful, and I do have videos on a few of them already. And if you have questions on the different skills, please feel free to reach out and let me know. I'll be happy to help out. Anyways, that's going to be it from me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.